Hello. So, if you're not already doing this, I need you to come out to DC this weekend, at least definitely for the first and for the second, to join the Sons of Liberty, Flair USA. They've got some tents out at Union Station in a place called Columbus Circle that's right out in front of Union Station. We're planning some events, some protests, and going to Congress and talking to a bunch of politicians and things like that. And also part of this is talking to the actual National Guard. Sorry, that's a cat right there. But anyways, let's talk to the National Guard to, basically ask them, like, are you going to violate the Constitution? What state are you from? Turns out that a lot of them are from South Carolina. And I live in South Carolina now. I'm also originally from Florida. But we're trying to kind of have a human element to this whole thing about resisting fascism and whatnot. But we really need more people to wake up about this. And this is some scary stuff. I'm just going a little rant here. They supposedly paying $2 billion to paint the wall at the Mexican border black, but they're painting the American side. And I hope this is a joke, but it's on the American side. So if they're trying to make it hotter, people are rappelling down, and they're not going to be touching at that point. Plus, if they're wearing black, our border patrol is not going to see them as well because, black on black. So not exactly the smartest idea. And that's just one of many dumb ideas. And, fascism is expensive. It's expensive for us because we're basically paying a bunch of money in our taxes and the price of goods, and it's going straight into the pockets of a bunch of rich people. And then you know what they do? They're going to go and spend it on a bunch of, boondoggle projects that aren't going to help us at all, and they're just going to line our pockets. I mean, we already have like a soft fascism, so to speak, in America right now. It's like a bit of a corporatocracy, but now it's just going to be on freaking steroids, But as an engineer, I've got lines that, you're not supposed to cross, and I try to vote with the way I spend money. But at this point, they're trying to even take away that part of my vote. And they're trying to take away my ability to even vote with how I buy things when they force us to buy things. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad. One reason why I'm child free is because I just don't see anything getting better. I think things are going to get worse. So what do? DC first and second. We should definitely be there. I'll be there with Big Sarge, Sons of Liberty, and hope to see some people there. I think we're the real patriots. And a lot of us believe in the Second Amendment. We definitely believe in the First. We believe in all the amendments. And the United States can be better. And we're not going back to normal. We're never going to go back to normal. Because, this shit's not going to fly, having the ability for a literal dictatorship to take over the United States. Never say never. Anything can be corrupted. Anything can be corrupted. Never say never. You say, I can never become addicted to drugs. Oh, that's a fucking lie. Anything can happen. That pigeon said, an American Tale, a little cartoon from the 80s, a little mouse, he goes to America in the late 1800s. Never say never. That's what the pigeon said. Because all kinds of bullshittery and fuckery can happen, even under a tight watch. So don't ever take your eyes off the ball. And in this case, don't downplay something. Being apathetic, apathy is a death wish. And this is one of my favorite songs by the band Story of the Year. They're from the early 2000s, mid 2000s and whatnot, but they knew what they were talking about. So I just want people to have a heart and to be objective, and to see that being selfish and myopic and just having your blinders on, you're doing the world a disfavor, you're doing yourself a disfavor. Because being selfish, completely selfish, is not how we were built in a sense of mutualism. Society and why we have so many people is because we have some laws and contracts in place. A law is just a social contract that we have. And laws only mean something if you actually enforce them. If you yourself believe in them, you live by them. It is not freedom for me, but not for thee. If you're gonna have freedom, other people are gonna have freedom. And if other people start having a whole bunch of kids and taking up more space and destroying all of nature, that's not freedom for all those other animals and for other people, including myself. No, that's them wanting more freedom while taking away from everyone else's. Call it freedom, call it what you want. Let's just call it what it is. It's greed. But are they really happier with all that stuff? No. People need to learn the art of how to be content and happy and deal with the bullshit of life until we die. Because we can't just... I mean, I don't knock on anyone for wanting to kill themselves or anything like that. If life is just that boring or they just want to check out, okay, fine, whatever. But like, don't make somebody else's life worse while they're here, just trying to live their life and die in dignity one day, just because you can't figure your shit out as far as how to be happy. And you are completely unaware of how it affects other people, or you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck because you might not have met the consequences. Consequences are like really bad family members that show up every now and again. And you don't want to meet them. You don't even want to hang out with them very long. But sometimes we need to not be so conflict averse. We have to have those uncomfortable conversations and interactions with things called consequences. So, I kind of want to rant. Once again, DC, first and second, be there. And join the Flare Discord. If you just look up flareusa.org, there'll be something on there about joining their Discord. And you can also look up the Sons of Liberty on YouTube and look for #angry veteran. Then you'll know it's him because it'll be admin Tim / Big Sarge. And he's staring right at the camera. He's letting you know what it's all about. So, anyways, till next time. And hopefully I see some people in DC. Peace.